I'm Jessica Carmon, founder of Resourced Apothecary, where we are asking you to rethink how you refill your cup. Resourced Apothecary offers sustainable products and practices to help you deepen your connection to yourself, your community, and to Mother Nature. Welcome to the Timely Drops of Wisdom podcast. Here, I'm sharing the plant spirit medicine I receive from the plants and the land. A whole new world of meaning opened up for me when I put down the books and tuned in directly to the plants. That's the world you're entering now. To be clear, clinical herbalism is powerful, and I highly encourage you to get to know your local herbalist. I assure you that they are a wealth of knowledge and can play a huge part in your healing journey. In this space, though, I'm sharing wisdom in the form of messages and teachings. This is less about herbal actions and constituents and more about the energy and spirit guiding all that. Today's conversation is about pleasure. To begin, I think it's important to define pleasure. For me, pleasure is a sensory experience, meaning some or all of the five senses are utilized in the experience of pleasure. There is a distinctly physical component to this experience. Thanks, Merriam-Webster, we got it. I know, but here's the deal. The whole reason I'm breaking it down like this is you will not fully experience pleasure in your head or your thinking mind alone. So, dear listener, if you tend to spend a lot of time in your head or your thinking mind, this discussion is for you. You may experience joy and happiness way up there in your head. But in order to experience pleasure, you are going to need to sink into the entirety of your body and really open up to your senses. To be clear, I am not speaking about the erotic when I say pleasure. It definitely falls under the umbrella, but there is so much more to pleasure than eroticism. With that in mind, let's get into the conversation first, and then I'll be back with my 2 cents afterward. To begin, I called on my source, my angels and guides, and the spirits of marigold, plantain, lemon balm, and lepidolite to come forward and tell me about the message they'd like to convey through this bath tea. Marigold spoke for the group. Well, hi, sugar. The gang's all here. I've assembled an all-star cast, don't you think? I said, I do. You are all such powerful allies. I expected you to feature yourself more prominently. Can you tell me about how you'd like to be worked with and what your teaching is? Marigold assured me, honey, you know I play my support role to the max. I'll still shine. Don't you worry about that. Ha, I know you will. I guess I'm just not as familiar with lemon balm or lepidolite and was surprised when they featured so prominently in this blend, I confessed. You work with lepidolite, don't you? And lemon balm? Melissa? She's sweet and astringent. I think she really balanced us all out. I am clearly bringing the fiery, divine feminine, and plantain softens that fire while supporting the feminine. He holds the container in a safe and soothing way. Me and lemon balm are busting down the walls you built around the experience of pleasure. I'm going to drive you to find it. Lemon balm will remove the shame and guilt that usually keep you from saying yes to you. Plantain lets you know you're safe to explore. Lepidolite keeps you tuned into your highest divine self. The pleasure experience may be as simple as reading a book. It may be far racier or more indulgent. It's all okay as long as it is aligned with your highest good. Humans have deemed pleasure bad, and as a result, cut yourselves off from the wholeness of your divine nature. Let's be done with that, okay? You are an adult. We have carefully set a safe container. Now allow yourself to tap into your divine truth and experience your pleasure. Thank you, ma'am, I concluded. Of course, Marigold is going to take it right to the second chakra and open my eyes to a giant truth that's been right there, but just never fully landed. Wait, what? I know. There was a whole lot packed into that short conversation. So let's zoom in. Lepidolite is a crystal. In this grouping, lepidolite is acting as the anchor line between you and your highest self. This is important because when we maintain this connection, we don't deviate into experiences or paths that aren't for us. Our society has long been attached to this idea of a binary, good or bad, black or white, up or down. We are seeing that this oversimplified approach limits our ability to perceive the fullness of the world around us. This is a big topic, and I want to dig into all of this further. But for now, let's just address good or bad. Nature shows us over and over that we must expand our current perception of reality to a spectrum rather than binaries. You may be wondering how far down this rabbit hole I'm going to travel, and my answer is just a little bit further, so stay with me. Pleasure is a topic that has been oversimplified and then pretty heavily stigmatized by the collective. You may feel squirmy at the thought of exploring what pleasure means to you. Or you may be like me and just now be realizing that all this time you limited your understanding and experience to your perception, meaning you didn't truly embody the experience because subconsciously or consciously, the embodiment, the connection to the sensory feeling of pleasure was so stigmatized that you just avoided it altogether. Think about it. The media and entertainment industry completely over-sexualize everything, presumably because sex sells, while at the same time, people are constantly being shamed for their bodies, getting to know their bodies, exploring what feels good to them. This is not always the case, but for a large majority, this narrative is playing in the background, either at a whisper or at a deafening volume. This can result in a disconnection from the body, a disconnection from our sensory experience, or a certain amount of guilt or shame that automatically get attached to pleasurable experiences. So let's tie all this back into the work these plants are doing for us. Lepidolite is the anchor to your highest self, because when you are connected and aligned, you are more likely to find yourself on the spectrum of experience that serves you and your highest good. Plantain is holding space, a strong and soothing presence. Plantain is a nurturing being, who brings a sense of calm and safety that is unmistakable. So, with lepidolite keeping you aligned and plantain creating a nurturing container, marigold and lemon balm can come in and guide you into your second chakra, out of the headspace, out of the conditioning, deep into you. I always say that I feel like the sacral chakra, the second chakra, is the seat of your relationship with yourself. It is the beginning of true self-love. A big piece of this self-love is knowing what feels good to you, understanding that you deserve to feel good, to experience pleasure. So when you allow yourself to fully experience a soothing bath by lighting candles, using aromatherapy, getting the temperature of the water just right, and turning on music that makes you feel exactly how you want to in that moment, you are not being overindulgent. You are feeding your senses, which connects you back into yourself, which sets you up for major nervous system healing. And if you don't actually find that bath scenario pleasurable and you honor that, instead choosing to sit down with a good book, smell the pages, listen to the sound your fingers make as they brush against the page, feel the weight of the book in your hand and the texture of the pages as you turn it, all while allowing yourself to get lost in the story, you too have created a pleasurable experience that shifts your entire being. There are so many scenarios I could list here, but hopefully the parallel between these two is already jumping out. When you allow yourself to fully experience pleasure, the sensory experience, what you are really doing is coming into presence. You are being present in your body, with your body, through the senses. And this is where the magic happens. These plants and crystals came to me in this grouping to be a bath tea. I feel like this bath tea preparation is important because I'm one who never would sit still long enough to enjoy a bath. I always felt like there was something more useful or productive I could or should be doing with my time. But that's the point, isn't it? The most important thing I was not doing with my time was being present with myself. Getting to know what I like, what feels good to me. Connecting into my body and my sacral chakra to fully experience my divine being. So, dear listener, if you have stayed with me this far, thank you. It is my honor to offer you this plant spirit medicine, as well as the What's Your Pleasure bath tea. My intention is that these plants can share their wisdom with you, and through pleasure, guide you into presence. May this medicine open you up to the fullness of your divine being. Big love.